Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode featuring an exclusive mid-month look at the LAX Metro Transit Center, scheduled to open in only less than a month. Today we're going to be looking at everything that's new here on Tiger Railfan. Today we are again starting at the southern end of the station. Here you can see a map of where we are and the station itself. But let's take a look at what we can see. To the left is going to be the station where the light rail stops. Both the C and the K lines will serve the station. You can also see one of their new large LAX Metro Transit Center signs. There's one on either end of the station, and we'll get a look at both of them today. You can also see that there is a lot of new construction happening. Looks like there's a new construction office building located just to the left. You can see inside the station where you can see most of the glass paneling and escalators are mostly complete, which is a great sign as we near the opening date of June 6, 2025. So make sure to stay tuned for that, as I'm going to be here filming a bunch of videos and I'll be live. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss that. There is where the APM or Skylink will stop. This is where you'll be able to transfer to the train to LAX. You can see that 2 of the train sets are actually already parked here. They aren't moving though, and I haven't seen them move, but we know they are moving because there is a different amount of trains at each station. If we look to the right here, we're able to see a new shuttle and parking area for the rental car facility, as well as shuttle buses that'll help serve LAX until the automated people mover Skylink line opens, which it'll open later than the Metro Transit Center since it'll be opening in January of 2026. The projects were supposed to open at the same time, but due to contract issues with LA World Airports, the project has been delayed and it seems like it could be delayed past January. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed, so hopefully that doesn't happen. And although we actually can't see all the way inside the station, there are some pictures here that were taken by people within the Metro construction team. So here's a quick look at some of those and at the massive progress they've made since the last episode we've done. We'll look at more of those throughout the video. You can also stay tuned for the Tiger Railfan Instagram, where images and updates like that will be posted. But now let's go ahead and get a closer look in at the entrance here at the south end. You can see that there are trains currently testing through the station. And if you want to see a compilation of this, there is a members only video that showcases the test trains running through the station. So it's definitely worth a watch if you're interested in a video like this. You'll also get types to a bunch of brand new behind the scenes videos, including construction updates that aren't released to the public. Now let's go ahead and get back to the construction update, where we can see that there is a pretty large elevator count for the station. If you remember seeing the images, there are several elevator locations that both serve the same purpose. For example, there's a pair of 2 elevators here at the front of the station to bring you up from the concourse level. There's also another set of 2 elevators closer to the bus space, which we'll get a closer look at in just a second. What you just saw pass as well is the Metro Local 857 shuttle. This runs between the Westchester Veterans and Aviation Century Station that will help serve the C and K lines before they're connected. You can also see that some new signage was put in place. You can see there's a small panel that says the LAX Metro Transit Center, as well as people on the roof actually this time. This construction update was filmed on a Tuesday, so there was a lot of construction compared to the typical Sunday when I film these videos. There are 2 entrances to the LAX Metro Transit Center. One is located here and another is located a little bit further north. So that's where we're going to check out next. Let's go ahead and make our way over there. Looking to our right, we're also able to see some of the construction involving the new shuttle pickup and drop-off areas, which are located just over here next to the east exit of the LAX Automated People Mover. And unfortunately, until next year, you will still have to take a shuttle bus into LAX, but this station is going to be a lot closer compared to the previous situation where you would take a shuttle from Aviation LAX, which is now Aviation Imperial Station. Looking to the left, you'll also notice that Aviation Boulevard is still closed to northbound traffic, but now we can start to see why. In previous episodes, I would question why it was closed, but there is quite a lot of cars here parked here, so that makes sense, and it makes me feel better that it's being used for a larger group of people, since on those Sundays it seemed like it was being closed just for a few people to park their cars. Now, after crossing under the bridge, we're able to take a look at the second entrance, just here under the LAX Metro Transit Center sign. The other set of elevators I was talking about is just to the left. But let's take a look at what they're doing inside. Looks like not much of the signage is done, but there is some construction activity, and it looks like there is more improvement from last time in terms of the completed walls in the background and the new signage at the elevator. So at least we have some new signage there. You'll also see that the structure is pretty much complete as well. We've seen that in previous construction updates, which I also highly recommend you check out. And it's really cool to see the progression of the construction that Metro has been doing. Looking inside, we can also see that the buildings inside have been labeled. For example, we can see building B and C. Looks like some new trees were planted here on both sides of the street to help add greenery to the area. There's a lot more greenery located near the bus bays as well, and we'll get a closer look at that later in this video. Let's take a look at another angle of the station, looking at the automated people mover section. You can see that there's a concourse just beneath the platform, which enables you to walk beneath the APM straight to Metro if you're getting off one of the shuttles, which is a convenient way to transfer, making it so you don't need to go all the way up to the third floor, up there, where you can see that there are still some panels missing in the roof. But besides that, we've seen the information screens on, so electricity is working, and the station seems to be in final stages of construction. Just testing hasn't been yet completed. I really feel like this project can be brought out before January of 2026, but we'll only have to see, as we're not really in control of the construction project. But it seems a lot more ahead than even some projects like the LAX Metro Transit Center in terms of its station construction. In the distance, you can see the eastern terminus of the automated people mover line at the rental car facility. If you want a construction update on the Skylink line, you can see a video in the description down below, where I also do monthly construction updates on. You can also see other projects like the A-line extension to Pomona and the OC streetcar, so you can see all things construction here on this channel. As we continue forward, we're going to be heading towards the northern end of the station, where there isn't exactly an entrance, but there are plenty of spaces for buses to enter and exit, which is really convenient due to the large amount of bus operators that are using the station. Essentially, all the bus operators that serve the LAX City Bus Center are moving here. So that includes agencies like Culver City Bus, Big Blue Bus, LA Metro, of course, and Beach Cities Transit. But we can see here a unique part of the construction here. Looks like they're offloading some soil here into the ground. So they're still actively working on the greenery area, which is nice. So hopefully it looks even better when it's completed. If you remember from last episode, I was already super happy with the state of the greenery. But we're going to go ahead and take another look towards the end of the video. This area also serves as an entry and exit point for buses. We can see here more of that action. I've never really seen a truck do that, where it shakes itself to make the soil exit. Makes sense though, since I'm sure it clumps in transport. Looking to our right, there's going to be an entrance to an overflow lot for the rental car center. This is where excess rental cars can be stored. I also do love how Metro is putting up street signs such as Metro Plaza Way, as you can see in the upper left corner, and Metro Lane, which you can see in the beginning of the video. Now here's an uninterrupted look at this side of the station. Continuing on, we're going to be taking a look at the actual bus bays now, which you can see in the distance over there. Unfortunately, the sidewalks are closed, so we're going to have to cross the street up here for a closer look. So here is also the second sign, that showcases the LAX Metro Transit Center. These signs are unique to this station, as otherwise they are similar to the picture shown here. But now let's get a closer look at the greenery that Metro has in place. Right by the sign, we can see that there are some vast amounts of trees on the left, and there are some new succulents and other types of plants located on the ground around the sign. Walking around the corner, we're also going to get a better look at the greenery that they have, as well as solar panels that Metro has installed both on the roof and on the ground. But here's a look at the new foliage at the station. I do greatly appreciate how Metro is doing this to help give a break from all of the airport stress and the lack of plants that are at LAX. You can see it extends to use up pretty much all the space left that they have here at the LAX Metro Transit Center, which I think is a great use of space, and it's going to make the area around here much more pleasant. But looking to our right, we can see some of the new solar panels that Metro has installed. If you look closely, they've also installed them on the roof. At the curved part, you can see the solar panels installed there. So this also helps provide power, not only for the station, but for the trains themselves that run through the area and the electric bus charging ports, which you can see on the right-hand side. So I love how Metro is doing that to help ensure that Metro is able to support a growing fleet of renewable energy buses, such as battery electric ones. You can already see technology like this on the G line, or the Orange line, which is located in between North Hollywood and Chatsworth Station. Now what's nice here is that fence that we've seen previously ends right here, and it turns into this weird gray one, which seems pointless because it really is only tall at this section, and then it tapers off and gets much lower as you walk closer to the railroad tracks. This will also provide us a great look inside at the bus bays, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we can see here at this mid-month update in May. Now, a lot of it is pretty much in a similar state, and that's because it's pretty complete. Now, the only thing that they are really working on is things on the actual bus bay platforms and on lots of signage. That seems to be the theme with today's update. Big Blue Bus and LA Metro recently posted a story about the Big Blue buses using the station currently, and it showcased how the information screens do work at the moment. They're just turned off. You can see a picture of that here, but to see the full story, you can also go to the Tiger Railfan Instagram, where there are more updates and behind the scenes in addition to what we have here. So it's definitely worth checking out. Now let's also take a look further here, where we can see that fence really doesn't serve a purpose too much at this point because people can just jump over. So hopefully that doesn't mean that there's an increased rate of graffiti or vandalism at the station. Hopefully, since it's monitored in general, things will be much better here. Anyways, let's take a look at the other side. Big Blue Bus is the agency that uses bus bays 4 and 5 on this side, but we do not know the other bus bay assignments just yet. But we can still see from here that most of the greenery and foliage is complete, as well as now the signage. You can see the same theme on the other side, which is just a mirror of this bus bay. There are about 7 bus bays on either end, with 2 in the middle. Here's a map of the bus bay layout right here. Feel free to pause and take a look for your bus route. Any of the bus routes that operate at the LAX City Bus Center are going to be moving here. But anyways, we're now at the railroad crossing just north of the station. This is where only K-Line trains go, since the C-Line terminates at the LAX Metro Transit Center. You can actually see one of the C-Line trains moving into a siding here to wait for its next departure, heading back to Norwalk. Here's a look at the use of the siding. So since the C-Line terminates at that station, it is still the only light rail line that runs completely on its own right of way, where there are no at-grade intersections or crossings, making it quite the reliable light rail line whenever it works properly. But the K-Line is going to still remain a light rail line that has these at-grade crossings, since there's one right here as well. But as long as they give the trains the right of way, I'm rather okay with it. Here's a quick look at the station itself, the light rail section, where the light rail trains board. If you would like, you can go back and pause there. but I don't want to wait in front of the station and the tracks for too long. But on this side of the tracks, we're able to see the LAX maintenance facility, where Metro stores the C and K line trains, and this is going to help with the K line extension north and south. It's going to provide storage for those new light rail vehicles that will be demanded with a longer light rail route. So this new maintenance facility for the light rail vehicles is going to help facilitate so many new transit expansions, with one of them being the introduction of this station. Heading back, let's go ahead and take one more look through and see what we can see at the platform level. We can see there's lots of construction workers down there and activity, but we can't really get closer than we are at the moment. Here's a better look. And being at LAX, there is no shortage of aircraft coming in. This is an Asiana A380 coming in from Korea. So hopefully in the coming months, passengers are able to use the LAX Skylink APM line to connect to the Metro Transit Center, which we looked at today. And if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to like and subscribe for more. And there are going to be plenty of new updates, including the opening day of this station, where we're going to be live, and there's going to be plenty of new videos coming out of that, like new station tours and cab rides on the C and K lines. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But here we can see there's more activity happening in between the light rail section and the bus section. It seems like the upper level of that little area is being used as a break area, which is pretty cool to see. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this construction update as much as I have enjoyed filming it, and hopefully you've been able to learn something new about the station and see its current progress, with its opening date scheduled in June 6th. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the trains testing around the area before we end out today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome rest of your day or night.